The first time I wanted to wear something not like other people, actually, I was probably 11. I remember I got teased at school for wearing a red tartan pleated skirt. Boy teased me and he was like, "You're Scottish today." And I remember taking offense to that, thinking, what's wrong with what I'm wearing? It would be a couple of years later, watching The Sound of Music and being obsessed with the sailor dresses, and I wanted one so bad. None of them existed on the market. I used the pale blue fitted sheet, cut it up into pieces, and tried to fashion pleats and like a skirt and a top with a little necktie. It was horrendous, but I was really happy wearing it. So for a long time, I maybe had one item of clothing that was like my prized article of clothing. So I would say it's taken about 10 years to get to a point where I've narrowed down my style is something like Edwardian child, schoolgirl chic, Victorian, Quaker punk. I don't think for me it's just what it looks like on the outside. For me, it actually reveals the character maybe of the person. And I say character, I mean integrity. To me, it says that that person can be bothered, that they're motivated, that they have passion, that they care. And that's part of the reason why I changed my style too, was I don't feel good in myself if I were to lounge about, if I were not to make an effort. It just doesn't make me feel good. And so when I see people rocking their look and doing their thing and mixing and matching textiles and accessories, I just feel like you can see that they feel good about how they look, and there's something really attractive, I think, about people who are creative. I would say that dressing creatively is like one of the most inspiring things. I do have a desire to have my own clothing line, which would include a service for tailoring in shop or online, if I were to have the time or the capacity to do that. If I get a new accessory, a new piece of clothing, or you do, it is exciting because you're adding to a collection and you're refining your art. The art of how you dress yourself, which is cool because not a lot of people care, to be honest, and that's okay. But having people who, oh, no pun intended, are cut from the same cloth, it's nice.
I started my sartorial journey around 3-4 years ago. I was watching a lot of classic gangster movies from the 20s and the 30s, and I just loved the style and the aesthetic of the clothes they were wearing and the kind of attitudes and the way people perceived them. They had this power and they just held a lot of authority, and I just loved the pinstripe suits and I love the cuts. You know, the 20s and the 30s, a lot of people say the golden era of style, and I just really appreciated that aesthetic and the colours and the fabrics, and I find you got a lot more compared to the high street today. I'm always continuing my evolution in the sartorial game. I'm always looking at what I can improve on, especially when it comes to fits and proportions, and when it comes to tailoring your garments to make them look a certain way. And recently, the last year or so, coming from PT Wilmo, I've really developed this kind of sartorial cowboy look, I call it. It's basically suited 3-piece, 2-piece looks with a cowboy twist, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. I find it quite free, I find it quite bold, I find it quite playful. And I just love that clash between cowboy hats, cowboy boots, but with super formal suits. So that's been quite a lot of fun. I like accentuating the male figure with tailoring especially. I think my passion lies in Italian tailoring and also British tailoring. They're both polar opposites. The British have sharp, clean lines, a built-up shoulder, lots of padding in the chest. So I find the look of that, like a suit of armour, quite interesting. But I also quite like the Italian style of tailoring, which is very relaxed, very unlined, very soft. I find that to be quite nonchalant, and they can pull off things in a very easy, laid back, relaxed kind of way. So I'm kind of inspired by both of those, and I put them together. I like the look of tailoring. I like sharp garments, nice clean lines, and I love experimenting with fabrics and patterns and textures. Most people go casual during the day and they dress up during the night. For me, it's sometimes the opposite. I wake up in the morning and I put my best outfit on, and when it comes into the evening, I like to take layers off and get into something more loose and more relaxed. However, if there's a special occasion, I will put more effort in, and I like to go more timeless and more classic. Tuxedos, so we're thinking about James Bond's, classic black tuxedo, nice slim fit, timeless, elegant, classic. Horology is a niche passion I've been quite interested in for around 2-3 years, especially when it comes to vintage watches. There's a lot of really great pieces I have. Piaget, Hugo Le Coultre, there's some really beautiful pieces, some from Omega. I've been collecting them for a while, and I think I'd like to continue exploring watches on a higher level. I think most people in the modern day can become lost. It's like a sea of everyone looking the same and feeling the same. I walk down the high street and I just see 50 million shades of navy and grey, and everyone just kind of blends in. I like to stand out, like individuality. I like having your own personality shine through, and I think doing that through clothing and doing that through having your own style is incredibly expressive, and it's quite fun and it stands you apart. I think it is important to pay attention to these kind of things.
I would really love to go back to Edwardian days just for the sake of being able to walk around in my outfits and just be one of many. I just like things to be aesthetically pleasing. It would just be lovely to be in a place where everyone's wearing long skirts and all the buildings are beautiful.
I feel like I've always somewhat dressed smart, maybe a little bit more modern than I do now. And then it's only really been in the last 7, 8, 9 months since lockdown I really committed to this vintage aesthetic. I feel like when you wear something sharp or something more dapper, let's say, you immediately get a confidence boost from it. You walk with your chest pushed out, your shoulders up. You just immediately feel more bold and confident in it. You feel like you're ready to go.
So growing up in Germany, for me, I always felt like clothes were supposed to be functional, but what they looked like didn't really matter that much. I would wear a skirt, even though it'd be a short skirt, but people would ask me, what are you dressed up for? And I just think this is an attitude that should really change, that you can just wear something you like and you don't have to be dressed up for anything. You can just wear it on an everyday basis. Well, I'm really looking forward to the custom-made Edwardian S-band corset that I've recently ordered, because when I started wearing my skirts, I felt like it looked kind of costumey. But once I put on a corset, I actually started feeling like an Edwardian lady, because it was just a little detail that absolutely changed the outfit.
Generally speaking, I try and always purchase things vintage or from shops that replicate older styles, older cuts. And most of the time it's easier for me to find an item that I like the look of, make sure that in the right places that it fits me, and then just make the alterations to make the suit more personalized for myself. Yeah, it's more flattering than you've got all the finer details, like your wider lapels, your tie pins, your pocket watches. Everything's just aesthetically more pleasing from the earlier decades than it is now. Nowadays, everything's just ready to wear. Not that ready to wear is bad. I mean, I own a lot of ready to wear things myself, but just modern day things. It's just a case of it's a suit and nothing more. No one really thinks of the finer details, whereas back then, every man wore a suit. So a suit was just your natural attire, your uniform, and then you would express yourself with the finer details. I believe it's been a real pleasant experience, the fact that we've been able to encourage each other to embrace our own personal styles without feeling uncomfortable going outside wearing what we wear. It would be nice at the fact that we've encouraged ourselves to do it, if other people now took almost encouragement from what we've done to maybe go out and express themselves in however which way they choose to do so.
Sometimes people come up to me and just say, oh, I love your outfit, I wish I could dress like this every single day. And my answer is usually just, why don't you? Because nothing is stopping you from dressing like this. It's been a journey for myself, and it does definitely take a lot of courage to go out like this. But once you've started, you start feeling so much more like yourself, and nothing should ever stop you from being yourself.
The best part? Coming together with others, irrespective of personal background, age, ethnicity, race, gender, upbringing.
Sharing this passion and livelihood, and embracing each other's individuality.
Learning, being inspired and encouraging each other.
The camaraderie and community feel will always be special and have the effect of leaving others
Intrigued and interested.
At the end of the day, this is our style, our self-expression, and we do this through tailoring,
Through Sartorialism.